What's up guys, it's Braden here with Oldy Gaming. We are here at Creative House Studios in Cleveland, Ohio, and I'm about to bring you another review for the game Hitman. Without further ado, let's get right into it with pre-gaming. Now the developers of Hitman are IO Interactive, who have handled every single Hitman game before this. Hitman is an episodic stealth assassination game, which basically means that the missions aren't all there when the game is released. After a while, they will come out with new missions, and the game just basically isn't full on release. The marketing scheme for this game was very minimal. They really only advertised this game to their core audience, so if you've never really heard of it or you've never played it before, it's possible that you didn't even hear that it was coming out. In the game, you play as the well-known Agent 47, who is the main character of every single game that has come out so far. So it's kind of like you could say he is Hitman. The beginning of the game is a prequel to all of the other games that have come out in the past. This sets up the meeting between Agent 47 and his long-known handler, Diana Burnwood. Now, as I said before, missions release episodically, and there's really only one mission other than the tutorial. And these missions take place in present time, which is basically saying after every single other game. From now on in these reviews, I'm going to be taking out the out of 10 rating system for the hype meter. Instead, I will be replacing it with 4 different phrases that will be pretty self-explanatory on the game's hype meter. The first of the 4 phrases, which will be the lowest, is try harder next time. Then moving to third place is almost there. Second place will be this looks good. And the best of the best games will get maximum hype. The hype meter rating for Hitman is going to be almost there. I would have given it worse, but there was one sweet cinematic trailer released at E3 where he shoots the guy, the bullet pops up, and he just catches it and walks away. Oh my gosh. Anyways, it was so sweet, and that's the only reason I'm giving it a bump up on the scale. Now that we have pre-gaming done, let's get into it with You Got That Right. So since this is one of many Hitman games, and it's all been done by the same studio, you can really expect a lot out of this assassination game. And in my mind, this is what I think a real assassin would have to go through on missions like this. The mechanics of the game are done beautifully well. This is due to the timeless formula of blending in, planning your attack, executing the plan, and leaving without being noticed. You really can't survive if you just go in guns blazing, and you can't run away when you've been caught because you're swarmed with guards instantly. Another thing I really like about the game is you can change back and forth between outfits of people that you've knocked out and hidden their bodies. You can take their clothes or you can stay in your own. It doesn't really matter what you do. But when you get recognized in an outfit, you can't go back to that outfit or people will notice who you are, which makes it so you have to always watch your back and be very vigilant of when you do noticeable things like disposing weapons or hiding knocked out bodies. This adds a whole nother level of difficulty to the game. And really, overall, you just have to be paying attention to what you're doing. You have to stay on your toes and constantly be thinking what your next move is to get to that target. Again, adding to what I think a real assassin would be going through in a situation like this. And lastly, there's no multiplayer, but there are player-made contracts that you can go back into the missions and fulfill that can really test your skill. Because not only do they require you to kill a new target, but you may have to kill this target in a certain disguise or with a certain weapon, or both. Now that You Got That Right is out of the way, let's move into meh. First of all, let's talk about episodic releases. I really have 2 main problems with this decision. The first being the only reason they're doing this is to test it out to see how it is. And that's not really a good reason to actually do it. Especially for a game like this, where you just want to sit down, invest your 20 to 30 hours, get all the missions done, and then go back and try out the new targets that other people have made. And the second reason is, from the release date, who wants to wait 2 more months to get just 1 more mission? This is an action game. You have to keep the action going. Don't stall it out. It needs to be right away, 1 mission after another. So next, let's talk about when I first purchased the game and how confusing it was. After downloading the main body of the game, which I'll explain what I mean by that in a minute, the first thing that confused me was the main menu. I understand why the menu is designed to look like you're going through a bunch of mission files, but there's too much stuff and not enough direction on playing the first mission. What I want to see is that first tutorial mission. Big, bold, right there, that's the first thing I look at. I know that that is what I need to click to start playing the game. Now let's go back to what I mean by downloading the main body of the game. I really didn't know much about the release of this game, and if it wasn't for the fact that a couple of months ago I put the release date in my phone, I probably would have forgotten about this game completely and entirely. So I didn't know that the missions were coming out month after month after month and not the full game at once. So what confused me is when I downloaded what Xbox says was the main Hitman game and then got through the tutorial, I then needed to go back and download more content to continue playing. Not only that, there was no direct link from the game to the store to buy or download these next missions. I had to back out, go to the store, find Hitman, figure out what I didn't download and what I needed to download. And if you ask me, that's just too many steps you have to take to play the game. It really killed the buzz as well. They could easily fix this inconvenience by putting a downloadable content button on the main menu somewhere. Overall for me, there's only these 2 points I'm going to make because once you have a better feel of the game and you actually get into playing, it's a lot better. Just navigating into the gameplay is pretty tricky. Let's wrap things up here with final thoughts. Overall, this is really great gameplay. But outside of the game, I'm still pretty annoyed that I have to wait until the end of the month to play the next mission. And then again, I'm gonna have to wait another 2 months or so till the next one comes out after that. Hopefully this doesn't go on for too long though, and they just release the rest of the game. Even though I'm not sure if they have it done or not, which it's been a while since the last one, so I don't see why they shouldn't. Lastly, what I have to say about this game is if you love assassination games or are interested in getting into them, wait for a couple more or all of the episodes to be released. There was a lot of enjoyable gameplay and I really can't wait until the next missions come out. So if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, comment down below, or tweet me at Oldy Gaming on what you think about episodic releases for video games. And as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button to see more of my videos. See ya!